Yo, yo, yo. Yo, what's up, beautiful people? Oh my god. 1 second. I'm coming in like a little out of it, but did Big Steve gift stuff before the stream even started? What the? 1 second, bro. I'm like, I feel like I'm pretty timely, but I'm like, yeah, what he said. But I was kind of taking my time. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like I was finishing up something and I was gonna just I was just gonna like yeah I could be 10 minutes late and then like I opened up the pre-chat and I saw gifts so I was like oh hell no bro I can't be any more late. What the hell? My mic is it still wonky? Yo, how's my daughter's doing? Steve said. Eddie was first. Black Planet said, "What's up? I'm here earlier, making up for being late last time." Wait, I thought I set it to 10:30. I'm not that late. All these messages make it seem like I'm like a billion hours late. Yo, thank you so much, Steve, for the 5 gifted. You're the best. Christopher Junkin got a membership. Johnny Best, Peplin Creek, Ross Baltimore, and Jeffro. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Big W in the chat for Big Steve's glass box. I saw Big Steve today in person, actually. Um, so I feel like, you guys should all kind of be a little bit jealous of that. I'm not gonna lie. It was good. The ACSM swap was today, and it kind of felt like a great meeting. Like, I just got to sit there, swap fish, and we chatted, and Steve said to me, he said to me in a Black Planet, he was like, yo, isn't it crazy? We've been to all these meetings and like we've been to all these meetings together and this is the most we've ever talked, like by far. Like, so it was just nice to get to talk. And you guys know, I like when I know two people have like the same kind of like crossover interest, I like getting people to talk to each other. So like there's a lot of plant lovers, terrarium people too. So it's like, hey, Steve, you like dart frogs? You met John? Like, oh, John, like, there's this other guy over here with a plant nursery. Like, because honestly, sometimes my friends, we talk about stuff and I'm just so ignorant. I'm like, snakes, planes, birds. I mean, yo, I don't know how you people do it, but it was a fun meeting. It was a fun meeting. And I got rid of all the fish. I mean, I rehomed or sold, however you want to put it, all the fish that I was hoping to, and I got some great fish. So it should actually be a pretty fun stream, in my opinion, because I kind of want to go over like I've had a ridiculous weekend, but there were 2 club events in between, everything going on, and I feel like the ACLC auction had enough interesting lots in it that it's just kind of cool to go over. If you not made it to a club auction, if you just didn't make it to this club auction, then I'll kind of go over some of the lots, talk about how things went. Steve said there's probably 500 species of dart frogs with 1,000 different locations. He has the exact ones I want. That's hilarious. You gotta. I really like the way that he has his plants and his terrariums set up. They're very, very pretty to me. Very pretty to me. What's up, Jody P? Poo Bird. I'll make sure I actually say hi to people. Couple of fish. My friend. All right, yo, let's hop into it. Okay. I was gonna be late, but it was for a good reason. So when I drive like long periods of time, I really hate driving. One of the few things I can do that helps me tolerate it is I like to write like verses. I like to write little rapidy rap verses. I've been doing that from time to time. So either I'll have a beat I made or I'll find a beat and I just kind of write it as I go, like not literally write it down because I'm driving, but like out loud. And I just want to record a reference track real quick for the one I wrote driving to and from ACLC. So Nick said, I decided to put your Killy Fry in a green water tank. I'll be out of town for a week, so I know they'll be good while I'm gone. Yeah, they'll be good. I've been raising those exact ones in green water tanks, so it's gonna be fun. So I'll say one thing about this auction right off the bat. Who in the chat has done these club auctions, first of all? And if you have, how many people have done them through my group auctions? Because, oh my God, it's so nice that clubs are transitioning from the dumpster fire of depression and despair that is my group auctions. That site is so unpleasant to not only list things on, but to use. And it could barely even load photos. So it's just nice that ACLC, they moved to auction.fish, which, none of these auction sites are perfect, but this is like a free site, I believe, for clubs to use, and it's a lot more usable than my group auction. So if you don't know auction.fish, you might actually have an auction going on near you. You never know. They'll have the ones that have been put up here, and like, what's this? TFCB, and it has like the location. So this is Vermont. And then you can go and see all the lots and things like that. So it's also nice because you can see what the past auctions were. So if you're scoping out a place, you can kind of be like, okay, this is, and you could even look at the users and what they posted lots in the past, and see their email. So I actually have people email me all the time when I post things in these auctions, asking me to send them fish. And I'll be honest, I'm bad at responding to them because, like, bro, if I'm taking to a club auction, I'm not trying to ship it right now. Like, we have no clubs here. Jody said, yeah, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that. But that's why you got us, So the meeting, first of all, wasn't in its usual meeting space. And I do have photos, so I guess I could pull up some photos of the scene, kind of set the mood. But it was in a very small room compared to the usual. And besides the fact that it was in a small room compared to the usual, it was just a small room in general. So, like, not much space. All the things are laid out on a table at these auctions, and you kind of like shuffle around looking at it. But it's really hard to do that when there's zero space. Like, it's hard to do an orderly line and like pick through stuff on the table and pick it up and take a look at it when there's literally no space to do so. But made it work, and I'm just downloading the damn photo real quick. But for some reason my Google Chrome is like being extremely weird. Oh my God. It's not letting me click on anything on my screen right now. Remember when my Nick, better be careful what you say. One cross comment and they'll burn your house down. Oh my God, bro. No. We're good, man. We've done our penance, Okay, let me get this photo here of the things real quick so you can see. And I guess I should talk about like what's in the freaking title and why I went to this auction in the first place, because it's 2 hours from me, and one of my best friends is getting married, and I'm in the wedding party, and that night we were gonna be doing a groomsmen night, everyone goes out kind of a thing, and I did not want to go to this meeting and drive there when I knew I was gonna be out late. But here's the problem, and don't tell the involved people about this, but a bit ago, a guy named Joel messaged me. He said, that there's going to be some native fish group order going on I could get in on. And me being the kind of fish friend that I am, I immediately went to John and Aaron and said, hey, you guys want to add anything to this order? So I had to go and pick up all these fish. And originally I was supposed to get them at Mako, but Mid-Atlantic Killifish Association meeting. They were having a picnic, but that was canceled. So now I was on the hook for driving to Lancaster and back, and then immediately going from Lancaster back to my thing. But I was excited. Yes, I had to go. Jody says past his bedtime. Good night. Good night. I'm sorry I had to do it late. Scotty said that room sucked. Only time we'll ever be in there. What's up, Scotty? Hello, hello. Yes, I did have to go. Now, there's things that softened it. Like, there were half beaks listed at one point, and you guys know I've been looking for half beaks for a bit, but they were pulled, so that was unfortunate. But then I saw the fairy shrimp. Now, we'll get into all that, but I did not leave with the fairy shrimp. But I did get some cool stuff. And I did pick up the fish for everyone. So it was quite, a success. And I would say there were a lot of things in this auction that I have not seen in other auctions, or I just haven't seen in a minute. So definitely a great auction. One of the ones for sure where it's like, yeah, this is stuff that is hard to find, especially for an affordable price. So here's a photo of one section of the table that kind of includes things that I'm most interested in. Black Planet said, that reminds me, I forgot to tip you for your courier service. Hey man, you got white worms, you got I really wanted some of those fish, Scotty said. Hey, you should have you're spending your whole budget on lids. That's your problem. Yo, they bid up it was a 29-gallon lid to like $25 or something ridiculous. Like literally retail price. Now, the 29-gallon lid is the same size as a 20 long, so maybe that's why it was kind of popular. But bro, this auction had some very confusing prices, like very confusing, like what went high and what went low at some points. Scotty said that was bullshit. I'm cheap. I got one lid. Yeah. Well, it also, if you guys didn't know, Scotty actually before the auction posted in the Facebook page saying like, "Yo guys, can someone bring lids?" So he asked people to bring lids and only got one. So I feel bad. I feel bad for him as far as that goes, because I know he was looking for the lids. So here you can go through. You can see the old stuff. So you can see a 29-gallon glass lid, and yeah, right here went for $25 to bidder one $67. So pretty funny. What's now the background picture behind me, because I wanted to make it bigger. You can see there's a bag of rainbow darters, a pair. You can see a bag of the bluefin killifish. Those are two native fish, pretty cool to see. And they had minimums. Now, if you're not familiar with rainbow darters, they're very pretty. So this is like an accurate, ideal depiction of what they look like. And they're native fish. There's all sorts of darters, colorations, locations. This guy said, "Why so much money for a lid?" Dude, the lids are more expensive than the tanks. It's crazy. Like, one piece of glass is more expensive than a box. Like 4 slides of glass. What are you supposed to do? So rainbow darters, there were a bunch. Like a bunch. I don't know if someone like went and caught a bunch, or I don't really know too much about the guy that put them in. I haven't looked yet. But you can see there's a trio, 1 trio, 2 trio, 3 trios, then one or 2 groups of other kinds of darters. So 4 tessellated darters, which they kind of looked ugly. I think they're like a minimalist version. Like, this is like the minimalist version of the darters. And then there was the 3 greenside darters, which were huge. They were very big. So they do look pretty cool. So, and they stay at the bottom. They're kind of like gobies. They're like native gobies, and their faces are hilarious. I don't have good pictures of the ones that I have right now yet. Um, but you guys, they're they're very cute. They're very cute. I was kind of like skeptical on them just because I haven't been buying fish. I've been trying to be more picky with my space. I was kind of like, ah. But as I've been watching them, I'm like, yeah, this was pretty cool. So you don't come across the opportunity to get them all the time. And if you go, like one of the like BT darters, if you go here, this is one of the places to get them at kind of a relatively affordable price. And most of them are at least $10 a fish. I got mine for $25, and they were adult trio. Doesn't really, to me, it doesn't really get much better than that. I think the other places you could buy them, they're probably more expensive, but they're just not really sold by that many people. So, all right, fairy shrimp. I've been wanting to do a colony of fairy shrimp. I had some. I think the Daphne outcompeted them, so I was ready. I was ready to bid and try again, and I made a few mistakes with this auction. And the fairy shrimp were a big one because getting them would have made, to me, the drive feel much easier. Because I just love them so much. I'm gonna pull up a picture of them in a second. And they came with green water cultures too, which is like super nice. And they were huge. These fairy shrimp are huge. They're like the size of Neocaridina. Giant. Very cool. But I made a mistake. And that mistake was I didn't bid on the earlier bags. So the first bag I think went for, and I'm pulling them up here. The first bag, yeah. So we got one that went for 20. All right. So that's a little high. Like, not that I don't think it's not worth that. It's just like I was kind of surprised that it went that high. Now the talk was given on live foods. So sometimes, when items related to the talk are in the auction, like they can kind of go for a bit more because people are kind of like excited about that thing. They just sat there for an hour listening to stuff around that topic, so they're kind of like, look, I did all that work listening to that, like I'm gonna get some. But the first bag went for 20. I was like, let me wait. The second bag went for 20. So I was like, okay. I was kind of gonna see if the price would go down, you know what I mean? Like, so it seems like 20's the price. So I was like, I'll go for the third one because we've all kind of agreed that 20 seems to be the price that everyone wants to pay for the fairy shrimp. And I'm pulling up the picture now. I just have to hit transition because it's huge. So I have to scale it down before I put it in the thing. But you can see one of the bags of the fairy shrimp here. And you can see that the green water bag is sizable. And you can see the fairy shrimp themselves are huge. Like, that's them. Right? Yeah, right here. So, pretty freaking cool, if you ask me. Not something you see all the time. So the next bag came over, and Scotty said his live foods always go for a lot. So okay, man, I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it, at least just because 2 bags went for 20. So okay, but some of the prices were insane. Okay. Yeah, so Scotty kind of agrees to be like, this auction had some really weird stuff going on, and this is one of them. So usually when 2 things go for 20 in a row, even if it's the last one, it's not going to go for that much more. So I went for the bag. It goes to 20. Someone bids at 25. I'm like, all right, I'm willing to pay for this, whatever. I go to 30. They go to 35, bro. No, sorry. Wait, I got that wrong. I went to 20. They went to 25. Then I think they got to 30 because then I did 35. And when I bid 35, I was kind of having regret. I was like, this is just ridiculous. This is so ridiculous, but, at least I'm going to get my fairy shrimp. Bro, I didn't get them. They bid that shit to $40, double the price that all the other bags went for. I was like amazed. I mean, good for the guy that put them in. I'm happy for him, and honestly, I'm glad I dodged paying $35 for it. So I was kind of relieved, but like I did really want them, but I couldn't do it. I could not do it. So I lost the fairy shrimp, the last bag. I should have gone for the earlier ones, but you know, you can't predict these things sometimes. You really can't. Yeah, GG to Bitter 134. That went crazy for that one. Okay. So some other interesting things going on here. There was a ton of sword tails, like a ridiculous amount of sword tails. So we have these lots of 10 plus sword tails. This went for $20. This one went for $20 too, which like I'm not a sword tail guy, so I don't know what things. Steve said I'd have yelled $50 and then been pissed off the whole ride home. Bro, I know better than to bid against something that Steve actually wants, because what I've learned about Steve is if he wants something, the money is not a problem. Like he's gonna execute, which I'm the same way to a degree, but man, Steve doesn't play around. Like if it's at like 10 and it's something I really want, I might go to 20, 25. Steve, he just goes 40. It's like, oh shit. Okay, well, Steve got it. I'm not a swordtail, guys. I don't know what these things should be going for. I mean, red swordtail. I feel like they're not that expensive, but I don't know. Like, I'm sure there's like higher quality ones or something. But you know, 10 for $20 seems pretty good. These neon ones went for $25 for 10 of them. Putu said he ain't called Big Steve for nothing. That's right, bro. That's fucking right. But then there's these wild type sword tails, which were really dope. So it's the Phosphorus Maye, and if you're at ACM, Chad just did a talk on these. But it's a wild type sword tail, and I mean, look at this thing. No Pinterest. I don't want to log in. Oh my god, bro. Okay, you know what? I give up. But look at this fish, bro. Look at that blue. It's crazy. So very cool to see those in there. And you know, clearly no one seemed to really know or care about the wild type swordtails because these went for $12. Now I was joking. I knew Chad want them, so I bid on them. I outbid him for him, and he let me win because he knew I had nowhere to put them. So that I won the line that just handed it to him because I was just trolling him the whole time. But then there's also a Phosphorus Montezuma, which is another wild type sword tail. Look at this tail to body ratio. Very crazy. The yellows, very pretty fish. So these are definitely two ones where it's kind of like, yeah, this is something, if you're into live bearers, if you're into Phosphorus, this is more than worth making a drive to get some, especially, you know, these ones people actually wanted. This one did go to $40, but still, that's honestly not too bad in my opinion for something that doesn't come around all the time. Let's see, can you even buy these? Half of the stuff with, like, when you get into wild types, like, half the problem is just finding a place to buy it, you know. So let's see, Montezuma swordtail. Got Dan's Fish having them for 20, and then maybe an eBay listing. No location, but yeah, cool fish. I got this one for $8, a Cryptocorn Wedenti hybrid, and it was a decent amount in the bag. It looks cool to me. I have no idea what it's hybridized with. I probably should have asked someone, but I'll be honest, I don't care. I just want something in the fry tanks that doesn't grow too fast, too big, but provides that more like solid cover. And damn, that's what I went for. people were not into plecos that much. This went at the end, so these two short fin red pleco juvies, they went for $18, but I think that's because it was one of the last ones. They didn't go for too much. These high fin lyre-tail swordtail males, a mix of red and Hamburg swordtails. We got those, 8 of them for $10. I mean, that's pretty. If you wanted male swordtails, there was lots of like a bag of like a billion of them. It's all males. Technically very nice swordfish, but you know, people are breeding things. You know, tell me if anyone cares about this, because I thought this was interesting. It's a F-Zone glass filter pipe. It went for $5, but I'm just kind of like, what the hell? This is another thing that I can break. Like, that's kind of how I like look at it. I'm like, let me see. It says it's $40, so I guess that's pretty nice pick. Yeah, dry goods stuff like this sometimes, if you're looking for things, go super cheap. Like, I got a filter, this thing. Yeah, multifunction filter pump. I got it because I wanted to put it in the tank with the darters. And also I have some tanks that are kind of like, they could use the mechanical filtration. And man, this thing goes. This thing goes. I paid $4 for it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I didn't even know I wanted that. I mean, shit. Why not? It's convenience. It's convenience. I thought this one was kind of weird. So this says quarantine or hospital tank. And at first, it was like at like $2. No one wanted it. Then suddenly, everyone suddenly wanted this plastic container. It eventually went for $12. But it was just interesting because like at first it was kind of like, what is this? And then suddenly, you just never know. Some items last minute, everyone decides, actually, I do want that. The shrimp were not going too high, which I've noticed at ACLC. I think everyone just has shrimp. This is 10 blue dream shrimp. They went for $20. Not the worst. You know, I think some shrimp people might be working for more. The quarantine tank did look cool. I do agree. That looks good. If they had 10 of them, I would have been on it. That's my thing. It was just one of them. Like, but I do like the little cup thing because you could like do worm feedings in it or like let medication or salt dissolve in there. Pretty nicely. Could be kind of cool with this sort of thing. I have myself above the thing. I guess I could make this bigger and just be partially behind it. 1 second. You guys like my floating head? My floating head streams. Let me make this super big. 1 second. Pause. I'm so funny. Okay. Here we go. So now Scotty. Again, I think Scotty did a great job auctioneering. Got through things in a timely manner. You know, at one point they said apparently the site tells you how much longer it estimates the auction will take based on your speed going through lots now, which I think is kind of interesting. But Scotty, what's up with this? These duckweed lots. What's up with this, Larry? They said dollar, and then someone eventually said okay. It's so funny. I felt like Scotty. I felt like you held us at gunpoint for that one. Like dollar. It's like okay, but it was fun. It was funny. There's always got to be 1 or 2 duckweed lots. Yo, Ross Baltimore, what's up, man? Yo, Big Steve blessed you with the membership. William said Jonas usually has darters. Yeah, I've looked at his site several times. I haven't ordered. Definitely darters. You know, you can get them, just not usually like in person. You gotta have them shipped. So it's just kind of cool that I didn't have to go through that really. Yeah, Rasa thanks to Big Steve. This is one I kind of wished I had done. Because this went for $4. It's a ZooMed Aqua Cool Aquarium Cooling Fan. And I kind of wish that I had gotten it. I don't know how useful it is. It does look kind of clunky and hideous. But I mean, I don't have anything that does any cooling. So like it could be kind of an interested speculative buy. Like why not? Like that's kind of the danger of these auctions, man. You got to add to the fish junk bucket. You know? But it says low voltage, 12 volts for maximum safety when used near a wet environment. Well, I should freaking hope so. Better than an overhead fan. Side-mounted fan assembly to memorize water splash on the motor to prevent accidental immersion. Multi-directional discharge nozzle for precise airflow focus. Fully adjustable wide. I don't like how it's using discharge. Wide discharge nozzle for maximum cool. I don't want discharge in my tank, bro. So maybe I made the right decision. But it's kind of an interesting thing. I had not seen that. I had not seen that. 5 Tangerine Tiger Shrimp Carradina, always with the in Neo Parameters tag. That went for $18. I don't think that's too bad, honestly. It's not too bad. It's not too bad for buyer and seller. I think that's a decent place to be. This one was a little sad. Valerie had 6 big Blue Dream shrimp, very nice looking, $12. I mean, it's not the worst, but I feel like maybe if you're selling shrimp, you'd kind of hope. I think shrimp, it depends on the auction, man. PVAS is the best club for shrimp for me so far. But like I said, when I bring stuff to auctions, I set my expectations to 0. You don't bring stuff necessarily to make the most money possible. You just bring stuff, support the club by providing lots, providing a cut, and then, spread things around, man. That's what it's all about. Spreading stuff. More breeders, more hobbyists, etc., etc. Because, I mean, we might do the research and find a place like Jonah's Aquarium, but I feel like 99% of people, even a lot of people that go to these club meetings and stuff, like, they're not going to just come across that on their own. So, okay, this is one that I got. I got them for $14. There are 2 lots of this. Pretty cool. I don't want to pronounce it, but here, you guys want to hear me mess it up. So, Usania Goody, the bluefin killifish, a trio. I got a pair for $14. I bid on the last. I wasn't expecting to get it, but then I decided I did want it, and it was the last one, so it was slightly more expensive. And I was surprised at how pretty they were. I knew about them. I was aware of them, but like in the bag, it did look, pretty much like this. And I just think fish with a minimalistic kind of body with just a few accent of colors, like I really like that, especially if I was gonna make like a little display thing or something like that. This kind of thing is what I would go for. I just think it's cool. So very cool fish, native to Florida, so you can see a trend here. I'm really diving into the native fish species. I have 4 now. The Elisoma, the least killifish, the darters, and these guys. So I have 4 native species now, and I bred 2 of them. I just got these 2, so let's see. And these ones I think are one you can keep in pretty small tanks from some of the old stuff I read, but I don't know if that's outdated or not. But look, native fish, a little slept on. I'm trying to breed some of them because a lot of people that sell them are importing them from Europe, and I think that's kind of crazy. As always, club places are a great spot to get killifish for pretty cheap. We got 1 male, 4 females of Epiploides Tegeti. Went for $10. Pretty fantastic. Great breeding project. Good first killifish. Following up with the Dan's Fish logo, Aphyosemium bivitatum funge pair. 1 went for 12. 1 went for 10. So, I mean, these are like fantastic prices. And Val brought all those killifish, so pretty cool. It's always cool when one person brings like a bunch of killifish. It's like, yes, someone's breeding killifish. Big Steve's Glass Boxes says, Nick's going native. Yes, sir. Ross said, listening to the saddest song ever by Samuel Barber. Oh, that sounds like that's a good one. That's a good one. I mean, tomorrow is Monday, so the vibes, I get the sad vibes. The Shell Dwellers, no one really wanted those. They went for 4. And again, I will say, another thing I like about when Sky is auctioneering, the only reason some of this stuff went for 4 is because he started at 4. Okay? Realistically, probably could have started at 2. I mean, this one did go to 2, but I'm just saying sometimes just starting it, even if you just start it at 4 instead of 2, that's double the price. I mean, it's not much better, but it's better. So I always shout out to Sky for that. Always at least tries a little bit, at least a little bit. Oh, Imprint After said, "What's up, Twin? What's up, man? How's it going? How's it going?" Okay, this went for $6. It's a Sun HW302 3-stage external canister. This thing just looked like a spaceship. I didn't know what I was looking like. I was honest. I think people were confused, just because I don't know if it's a brand everyone knows or whatnot. But I mean, I think the first picture kind of makes it look like you don't really recognize it as a canister filter, and then you go to the second, it's like you kind of do, but it looks like, I don't know, like the robot from WALL-E, the white one. Steve said, unless Scotty wants it, and then he starts at 25 cents. Pond Puppy says, "Hey everyone, what's up, Pond Puppies?" Ross said, "Trash." Hold up, bro. He said, "I've seen that filter in AliExpress." Nah, man, this is premium, bro. Look, that's an $81 filter. They got it for $6. I mean, it looks like it works fine. Look at these balls. Pause. All the bacteria that could grow on that, man. That's what it's all about. So, I like the I like the thing that I got. I'll say that. I like the thing that I got. These were interesting. I hadn't seen these. I don't think. Dalmatian Platinum Mollies. They kind of got some cool finish going on here, and they were very shiny. They look very shiny. Those went for 20, which I thought was pretty good considering what the what the live bearers kind of were going for. But that was an interesting one. I hadn't seen these. Ross said 81 Crash Bandicoot coins. Steve said those are cool for what they are. Yeah, I think that's what, like, it did look cool. So that's another thing why my group auctions is kind of annoying. It's like uploading photos isn't as good. They don't load very well, and that really hurts sometimes. So the pictures are quite nice. This auction, good on them. Yeah, there was a lot better pictures. And auction.fish sometimes, like, it'll like fill in a picture from the internet automatically if it is confident in what it is. So this I did 2 reticulated Hillstream loaches. They went for $12. Like I said, I never expect much. Like, so I'm never gonna be too mad if something goes cheaply, because if I cared, I would have put a minimum, or I wouldn't have brought it at all. But that was pretty low. I've not seen them go that low. I do think Scotty, he pointed, he said, "Yeah, Nick bred these," and I think everyone was like, "Oh, well, I'm not bidding on them then." Nah, I'm playing. But yeah, it's okay. Someone got 2 younger Hillstream loaches for 12. Can't complain about that. I'm looking for something. Does anyone know what this plant is? This plant's popped up a few times. It kind of looks like an Anacris to me. It says soft water and bright light is key for growth. It's called Tonina fluvatilis. Went for 10. Kind of interesting. I'd be curious how it grows compared to Anacris, as far as like how straight it stays, that kind of thing, like the density, because to me it kind of looks the same. Steve said, "I would have bought that plant." Yeah, that's not a bad one. Okay, here's another speculative buy, but I had no idea what this was. Sarah Multi-Filter 350. I see a listing on eBay for $80, but that just seems kind of crazy. But I got it for $4, and it had a sticker, an auction sticker, over top of old auction sticker. So someone bought this at an auction and then just put it in this auction. So no one wants this thing, basically. And again, it only went for 4 because that's where Scotty started it. No one else bid on it. He said 4. I could have risked it, did the thing where you're like, wait until he lowers it to 2, but like, I'm not trying to be like that, bro. But it seems, what I've determined is, it seems like basically you add this to your tubing line to a canister filter, and then you have a whole new like expansion of your filter. So maybe you put like a polishing thing, or there's more media, and then it like is supposed to expand the filtration capacity of your existing canister filter. So I just got my only canister filter because I wanted some mechanical filtration for the tank upstairs. So I only have one thing I could use it on. Maybe I can find another way to use it. That I don't know. Like I said, it was a speculative buy. Kind of interesting. It feels very well constructed, but I don't really know what to do. Also, like, half of this box is in other languages. Like, I don't know. We're gonna figure that one out. But like a speculative buy. A couple of fish said, soft water, good CO2, good nutrients. If you don't have those things, it will die. Really? It looks like it should be an easy plant. That makes me mad. If the plant isn't red, it shouldn't be hard. It looks so sus. I know why you bought it. Bro, come on, dog. Some interesting cichlids in here. I feel like I don't see a lot of Central American cichlids, especially like these seem relatively cool. These are 9 unsexed oh my god, I can't read. Amatitilania Sequoia Rio Bagresis. Alright. It's got the location in there, so we know where it's from. Doesn't seem like a too common one. The Central American people, like, my thing with the Central American fish, a lot of them look like rainbow cichlid variants. Now this one does look pretty cool. It's got like, it looks like it's got some blue in the fin, you know, the black striping. I'm into that, but a lot of the Central American cichlids, like, to me, they just look like different variations of rainbow cichlids. So it's kind of like limited, but the faces of these ones are kind of cool. We got Hypsophrys Nicaraguans. Wonder where they're from. Okay, from Nicaragua to Costa Rica. And yeah, these look like a nice big fish. But again, like, they all kind of have a rainbow cichlid look to me. So, and I don't got space for that, but kind of a cool different thing. 8 unsexed fry went for $4. Imprint, you can't just retract your message. I know what you said. This was interesting. I kind of wish I had bid on this. At first, people didn't want it, and then slowly people started bidding on it. It went for $10. It's a 20-gallon tank, but it's pre-drilled with the overflow. Like, I'm an idiot, bro. I should have done it because I'll never drill a tank properly and install it. I'm too incompetent. This would have saved me a lot of work, and it's $10. Like, I couldn't have gone 12. Like, Imprint said I'm a fish keeper, mate, not a monster. Don't you not even have fish yet? Hold up. Okay. This one I kind of regret. I regret not bidding on this. I'm not gonna lie. Echidorus Vesuvius. I think this is a sword somehow. It went for $8, and it was all this in the picture. Like, it was a lot. Okay, I know why I didn't bid on it, and here's the thing. I'm not saying I'm cheap, but I'm not used to owing money after auctions, okay? I usually bring a lot of stuff, even if things go low. Like, I don't owe money. But this auction, I knew I was going to owe money at the end of it because things weren't really selling for that much, and, like, I was bidding on a lot of silly stuff, you know? So I was like, eh. And a thing that I do, sometimes when I go to these, I'll have my car be almost empty of gas when I get there, and I'll leave all my cards at home. And the gas stations out there, they don't have like tap to pay and stuff, really, a lot of them. So like, if I want to make it home, I have to have cash when I leave the auction. It's something I do sometimes. So I would have been in trouble. Luckily, Chad did give me cash for the joke bid that I did, where I outbid him for something. He gave me money for it, even though I just gave it to him. But yeah, I should have bid on this though, because I want more filler plant stuff, and this is kind of a cool one, honestly. Like, isn't Outdoors? Isn't that a sword thing? Yeah, it's an oddball sword plant. I mean, there was a lot of it. So yeah, I regret not bidding on this, man. Steve would have bid on it. He would not have made that mistake. How much did you spend total? I don't I'll have to check how much I spent total, but I owed $15 at the end of the auction. I probably spent like 60 or something. This one was pretty cool. It was a lot of it. Echinodorus red needle, and it was 10 plus plants. It went for $10. I mean, it was kind of crazy, man. Like, I feel like plants usually get more love. I guess this isn't a super rare plant or anything, but I was surprised. Big Steve's a glass box. He said he ain't gonna get home if you don't make money. I'd be screwed. That's a challenge. Yeah, bro. That's when you have impulse problems. You gotta put yourself in a situation where you have to succeed. So I like to do that for auctions. Like, I like to make it so if I leave with no money, then I'm screwed. I'll be hanging out with the cows on the side of the road, begging some Amish people for hey, can I churn butter for you for like 5 hours if you give me like a 10? A couple fish said, bro, you acted like you just found out about plants. Plants are easier than fish. I've grown and sold hundreds of plants. I mean, I'm not a plant person. I like plants. I have a decent amount of them, but like, I'm not like super into plants like some people are. It's just like, it doesn't come naturally to me. It's not like I don't like plants, but like, I just don't care that much about them, if that makes sense. Don't hate me. I'm trying to be honest. Black Planet said 100% Steve, I'll be walking home. Even rare swords are cheaper as far as plants unless you get into specific lines of localities and stuff. Right. You never know what you're gonna find. True. Okay, here's one of the. I'll tell you, this auction, some shit made no fucking sense. So, Tiger Stripe Frogbit. This goes for $6, right? Okay, cool. Amazon Frogbit large bag, which I don't think it was that large. $16. Well, what's going on? The other bag of Frogbit also went for $16. Bro, this went for most of the fish. This went for more than most of the fish, dog. This went for more than most of the fish. I don't know if I'm missing something about Frogbit, maybe, but I was confused. I was honestly confused. Oh, Pooty Bird said join the In My Tanks Discord. Yeah. We got the Discord In My Tanks going. A couple fish said Stripe Frogbit is just light stress on any Frogbit. That's hilarious. Pooty Bird said Frogbit is illegal. Hey, man. Mama, I'm in love with a criminal. A couple fish said low nitrogen highlight makes them all striped. That's hilarious. Big Steve said then I've thrown out $500,000 of Frogbit. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. It didn't make, and like, it's like weird that the other Frogbit went for like 6 and then 2 bags went for 16. Here we have bladderwort large bag went for 4. It says Utricularia vulgaris. We got 2 bags of that. That went for 4. This one went for 4. We have water hyacinth. That went for 12, which again, like, oh man, really? The other one went for 6. So it's always interesting when it goes for double another lot is always kind of interesting. The wisteria, 2 small wisteria, one went for 6. Another one went for 6. People really like wisteria, it seems. the large plants of wisteria. One went for 8, and the other went for 8 as well. Big C said, "I can't believe people pay for paddleware. I thought it was a hitchhiking pest." Yeah, so I have some I have a smaller Utriculata, and like it is kind of cool, and I kind of like think that it could potentially eat some like protozoans and parasites and stuff, but it gets like one tank. It's crazy. The stuff gets everywhere. I'm paranoid it might eat like a fry or small shrimp. I don't know. I gotta figure out exactly how I feel about it, but basically, yes, I agree with you. It does kind of seem like a pest plant in a lot of ways. The Sylvia, it went for 2, so like I guess people came to their senses. I don't know why I bid on this wood. I did. Maybe it is driftwood, maybe it isn't. Hopefully it doesn't kill my fish. It was shot with a Samsung quad camera apparently. Yo, your phone watermarking a photo is insane. I hate this. Bro, throw your phone away. No offense. Yo, if my phone watermarked a photo, I would immediately throw my phone away. Get out of here, dog. Yeah, I got this for $8. So don't ask me why. You know, I don't like to go outside, I guess. A couple fish said, Utriculata aurea species is kind of pretty though. Let me see what that looks like. Let me see. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, the flower's cool, if that's the same thing. But it just kind of is. It's wiry. It gets everywhere. Like, I don't know. I personally, unless you're read up about it, I would avoid it. The Arthurnia reneki plant, it went for $6, but like this was the biggest. I've never seen it this big. Usually when I see it, it's donated, like, or a tissue culture, like, and I think it was 2 sprigs of it like this. I was kind of tempted, even though I'd probably kill it. But yeah, $6. I felt like that was a pretty good deal for a big piece of that. If the plant is red, what's the limit to the price, really? This is a cool one. Lobelia cardinalis went for $8. Was 2. It says 2 stems. I don't remember what it looked like in person, but it seems like a really nice looking plant. I've looked at it before. I don't know if that's the one that can turn kind of purple or not, but this one was crazy to me, just based on other auctions I've been to. So this is a piece of driftwood on marble. Okay, it's mounted on marble and it's huge. I mean, look at that. How much do you think it went for, and how much do you think like you would have to pay to buy it? I'm curious. Like, what would you expect to pay for this? Also, all roads lead to chickens. Look in the background. There's a sign that says, "Yes, I really do need all these chickens." Black Planet said the cardinalis is purple immersed, green in your tank. I can't get mine to not be leggy. Okay, interesting. Well, this driftwood mounted on marble, it went for $6. I thought that was like crazy low, man. I feel like I've seen stuff like this go for a lot more. I guess everyone's got nano tanks. I guess. Oh my gosh. Some pathos did make it in here. Some pathos. I went for 2. So, I mean, you can only expect so much from a fish auction. You got kind of an aquatic thing. This was interesting. Yellow pitcher plants. One went for $20. It says the species is Serencia flava. Flav. Okay, both went for $20. See, man, that's what the fairy shrimp thing was so weird. Like, usually things just go for the same price the last went for. Like, come on, bro. Oh, this was a good one. So a Kessel LED aquarium light, 880 tuna sun. If I brought a bunch of stuff and had a bigger budget this auction, I would have gone for this. I don't know how much this usually is. Looks like it could have been 100 at some point. I don't know. I associate these with being pretty expensive. Went for $35. You know, I hope it works. It seemed like it was in the box and maybe not too. Oh, here's a picture of it working. So, a couple fish asked Black Panted, what is your par at? If you have a par meter, I'll be impressed. Okay, this wins the award. Steve said that's a steal. Yeah, I think that was the Kessel was a perfect steal. This wins the award for maybe the dumbest high-priced item at this auction. Like, I don't really understand. So, Fluval FX4. Now, keep in mind that or at least at the time this was happening, Petco was running like a 50-60% off deal on filters. Just keep that in mind. The FX4, it says filter, plastic container, and motor are brand new. So the filters are lightly used and in too good condition not to use them. The lines are left over from a different FX4 to complete this setup. Just to be clear, you're bidding on one brand new FX4 with used pads and lines. Alright, so glad they explained it. Kind of like, okay, there's a little bit going on here. But semi-new, semi-used FX4. It went for $100, bro. Why are people doing this? Why are people doing this, bro? I don't know. I know technically, like, I see the retail price is $300, but I don't know. It seemed a little wild to me. It seemed a little wild, but hey, $100. I probably would have just gotten it on sale somewhere new, but you know. The Sun HW302 3-stage external canister filter is sitting right here, man. Forget the FX4. Look at this beauty. Come on, bro. Look at this. Provides superior mechanical and biological chemical filtration. I don't know what else you would need. There's an app called Photone that uses your phone's camera to measure par. I don't know how accurate it is, but it should give you an idea. Oh, that's pretty cool. Black Panther said, I don't measure par. My lights are just bright enough not to cause algae. I have them under Kessels. Oh my gosh, fancy. This was kind of interesting. To be fair, I take one FX4 over 6 Suns. Black Panther said, okay, I'm glad you actually got exactly that. So he said he got a new one on Friday for $154. Yeah, that's close enough to retail to me. I would have just gotten a new one personally, but you know, $50 is technically a big difference. It is a big difference, but I don't know. So we have live silkworms, 20 small to medium sized live silkworms. This was interesting. They said a live food culture. Haven't necessarily explored this. Someone told me they turn into moths, so I was kind of like, yeah, this seems like a fucking terrible idea. My sister also had a moth infestation at one point, so like I feel like it could be traumatizing to people that have gone through that. They have a very big write-up about the benefits of silkworm and fish feed. Silkworm are the caterpillar of several moth species that are used to produce silk. I read this first sentence, I'm like, so why the hell am I putting this in my fish room? Go make silk somewhere else. Apparently though, koi breeders have been using them as a natural food for a long time, so maybe it is good. It's kind of interesting. So this went for $8. So you want a silkworm lot, follow the professional koi breeders. There you go. Go to your this is the spot. Then we had original sea monkeys with label. Sometimes when you go to these auctions, it's not always obvious that someone's just cleaning out a cabinet or their garage or something, but when you get to stuff like this, you're like, oh my god, bro. I like the description. Like him or hate him, this guy was a marketing legend that got us all to buy his product. So the brine shrimp did hatch 26 years after the warranty was expired. It will be empty when you weigh it with the label. Fun piece of childhood memories to enjoy. So like they used the brine shrimp already. You just gave the container, the label. Silkworms can't fly. Well, I know the silkworm. you're saying this what they turn do they not turn into something that can fly? Am I wrong about that? Silkworms are also a byproduct of the silk industry. Interesting. Okay, this was kind of this was decent deals. We got a red alpha and red ruby swordtails trio, $25, not bad. And then we got the Hamburg swordtail trio, $30. Again, not bad. A couple fish that domesticated the flight out of the moths. So they turn into moths that don't fly. Interesting. Well, then maybe it is maybe look, man, maybe it is interesting then. Something about caterpillars kind of makes me scared, but you know. The koi snakeskin guppy trio, those went for $12. You know, guppy breeders cry at these auctions, but if you do want some nice guppies for not nice guppy prices, the club auctions can sometimes be a good spot to go. But you never know. So sometimes people really want it pops up. Like these orange lyre tail guppies, those went for $18. That's a little bit higher. The black chins, which I believe are from Clay Crawford's line. Wait, who brought them? No, never mind. I thought maybe Val brought them. Black chin. Oh, she did. Yeah. So I think she got these originally from Clay Crawford's room and has been breeding them. Those went for $6. That's one male, 4 females. I feel like that's pretty nice, man. Pretty nice. Let's see what the angelfish went for. I don't know anything about what angelfish should cost. We got these Scalare 4 Peruvian Ultims. They went for $4. $1 an angelfish. I mean, that seems low to me. Again, I don't know anything about angelfish, but that seems low. Meanwhile, these 4 gold angelfish went for $10. I know some breeders who are raising them to be able to hatch out themselves, and she's attempting to breed them to fly again. Wait, they can't hatch out by themselves? Steve said that's what I've been feeding the Balanosox, the silkworms. Oh, look, I might have to get some silkworms for you, man. I mean, if koi breeders are using them, then that immediately makes me think it's a great idea. That immediately makes me think it's a great idea. The Daphne and stuff, they seem to consistently go pretty decently high. We got these 2 orange koi cross angelfish that went for $8. A couple fish said they're fully reliant on humans to live into adulthood. So how do you breed them? That seems okay. Now we're getting into seems like too much work for me. Oh, the black chin livebearer, you've been feeding those to the Blossox. Oh my god, bro, you gotta feed the beast. So Daphnia, all the Daphnia bags seemed like they went around like $16, $18. This one went for $20. A few went for $20, I think. Kind of high, but if you actually start a culture with it, then no price is wrong. The darters, I think they all went for around $20 to $25, which isn't too bad. I'm not really sold on tube effects worms. They still kind of give me like an icky feeling. This one was 14, 10. I think some of the earlier ones, I think 2 of them hit 20. 14. Yep, 20, 16. Steve said every scoop is like lighting a $5 bill on fire. You gotta feed the Blossox, man. Like, look. But I'm still willing to trade for those. Take them off your hands, especially if you got a male and female. I need those 20 points. Most can't produce the enzyme to escape the cocoon. She's also working on that. Oh my gosh. Temper said, stewing up some rhubarb, but while I'm waiting, I'll sneak in here for a bit. What's up, Temper? How's it going? How is it going? All right, here we have Rocio spinosema, another Central American cichlid. And look, this first Monster Fish Keepers post says they're similar to rainbow cichlids. That's my problem with the Central American cichlids, bro. They all just look like another kind of rainbow cichlid to me. But 6 of them went for $6, $1 a fish. Can't complain about that. We had this massive coral decoration. Someone asked when it went up, they said, does the washing machine come with it? Went for $2. I guess no one wanted to be fancy. We had the Zenatoka Icenai, $4. The Goodaids have kind of saturated. I was surprised by this one. We have the assorted filters, and there's 2 aquarium co-op filters in there. I mean, they don't look the cleanest, but I mean, it's a filter. It went for $8. I kind of wish I'd bid on this because I kind of like the look of those corner filters and stuff. And yeah, I regret a little not doing that one. But hey, why not? Why not? We got the blue Akara, of course, coming in. It says there's 1 blue Akara that went for $10. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. All right, I put the isopods in there. I've taken the isopods to ACLC a lot, so I think most people that really wanted them already have them. So they went for 12, which is pretty low. Pretty low. I also put in 1 bristlenose pleco that went for 6. I put in 4 of the beta Albemarle Nada. Went pretty low, $20. But I'm trying to get them out there. They're one of the care species. So I'm just trying to get as many of them out there as possible. So hopefully some other people can breed them. Because I was surprised when I looked them up. They're kind of hard to find. I didn't realize they're that unavailable. But yeah, all the shit that I brought went pretty low compared to what it usually does. So that's why I owed money. Like I didn't bring that much stuff, but on a typical auction, like I think I would have ended up. Cause I only owed $15. I think I would have ended up not owing $15. Just some stuff went super low. Like the loaches went low. Everything went at least $10 lower than it usually does. Like the Elisoma pair, which was actually 3, they went for $30, which isn't too bad. I'm not mad about that, but you know, the Brazilian pennywort went for $12. So the Brazilian pennywort, a little bag, went for as much as my 2 Hillstream loaches went. Like there was just like some interesting stuff going on. Although all my fish basically went at the very end, which didn't help. But that's the luck of the draw, man. Some electric blue Acaras, 5 of them for $6, another 5 for $8. Grace got a billion of those. If you order electric blue Acaras from Dan's Fish, Grace sent him a bunch. So if you want some Dan's Fish quality electric blue Acaras, look at the auctions that Grace is going to. You can get them for a decent discount. So I think that's most of what was going on with this auction. I think that's most of the things. Let me see if I missed anything I took photos of. I think I showed pretty much everything. I'll show the density of the Daphnia bag. 1 second. You can judge. You guys can judge. Are there Daphnia snobs in here? Oh, Poochu is in here. That counts. That definitely counts. So you can see here is one of the species of Daphnia. I think he collected them or breeds them. So I don't know. The speech was about collecting live foods. So, man, they do look a little bit more like with these ones. I see why they called them water fleas. Like they do look more flea-like when they're at that size. So yeah, ACLC, pretty cool auction. I think I went over everything I got. The bluefins, the trio of rainbow darters. I need to send myself some photos so I can actually even show on stream the other event, because so I did this and I came home, had to do my bachelor's thing, and the night before that we streamed until like 3 a.m. Do I know who bought the Daphnia? Let me look. Me and Aaron were on here. Check it out the other day. We were going over some food reviews and reviewing some fish retailer websites. I think it was the fun late night stream. The guy that brought the Daphnia is John07. John 07. So I have to look at the speaker and see if his name is John, because then maybe I'll be able to guide you a little bit more. 1 second. But yeah, I did my bachelor's thing, and then I was out until like I didn't get home until 4 a.m. last night. So it's like 2 nights back to back. I didn't go until 4 a.m. So I like barely dragged myself out of bed today to catch some stuff to take over to Aquarium Society of Central Maryland, which is a newer club. Kind of got some interesting things going on, and I've been getting more interested in it because it kind of seems like a club. Most of the people running it are like new, similar to myself, but also they don't go to as many club things, so it feels like there's more space to like come up with ideas that might actually get listened to. And so this meeting, the president is William, and William's cool. Doesn't necessarily, not the best at like social interaction. Like I do think sometimes he comes across not the best to people, just the way that he kind of talks. He's a little intense. We really were trying to convince him to let us try this meeting where there isn't like a big main event. You just kind of like hang out, swap fish, have food, have some games like card games to play and stuff, and also have like some mop making supplies, maybe even like a water test kit. I was supposed to bring that, but I forgot. He really didn't want to do it, but we convinced him, and I think it went really well. If you're at the meeting today, let me know what you think. But one of the complaints that I and people I've talked to have had about these meetings is you go to them and there's no time to talk to anyone. You go, it's like constantly a raffle, constantly an auction, a speaker. It ends, everyone leaves. And I just think that's one of the reasons clubs can't get certain kinds of people to stay or to even come, because there's like limited community in that. You really have to talk to people and like that's why I go to these clubs anyway, because my friends are going, and I can sit at the table with them and talk some, but it's kind of difficult. So like I said at the beginning of the stream, and Steve said in the chat he had a great time, I had a great time too, because I got to talk to like Steve and Aaron and John and all my friends. And usually, even if we do go to these events together, we don't really get to talk at them that much. So like again, Steve's comment was so like true. He's like, we've been to all these events together and this is the most we've talked by far. So I thought it was a pretty big success. They do have speakers. I think it is good to have speakers and events and stuff, but I think it's interesting to explore a club format that's more about just socializing and talking fish, because so many of us, bro, you don't have anyone to talk to about fish stuff, and even if you keep up with your fish friends through Discord or whatever, it's not the same as in person, and you can't really cover the wide berth of topics. But some new people came in, some people that don't go to any other fish clubs, never been to a fish club before, like from Reddit and stuff like that. And that's why I was excited about this club and why I'm getting more involved, is because I saw that it's also the location. It's in Baltimore, which I think is just the best location, just in the fact that it's very underserved area. It's even easier to get to if you're like in the surrounding counties, Baltimore County and stuff like that. So I just think it has a lot going for it, and the fact that people that aren't the typical fish club attendees are showing up is like a great sign to me, that there are people, there is a need there. There are people that would want to be interested kind of this thing, and I think because they're able to come and then actually talk to everyone, and you're walking around and swapping stuff, and I'm gonna throw some photos up of the event. But I was really happy with it. So Steve, I'm glad you had a good time. I brought some more betas for Steve, just because I was like, if he does show up, I will make sure it's worth it. Big Steve's Glassbox said they desperately need more space though. You wouldn't have wanted many more people to show up. Yeah, I think we need to expand like in that back thing and get more chairs and like just set up the tables differently. Because there's some space back further, but like I don't think it was. Honestly, maybe more people showed up than expected is part of it. I didn't take any good pictures of the venue, but that's another thing. The venue is like a brewery, so it's kind of an interesting vibe. You can see in the background like the giant distilling machines and stuff like that. This is a pair of Aaron brought some great straws. Like, again, it's a new club. It's kind of smaller, but I felt like there was a decent amount of stuff actually at the swap. Like, I bought a good amount of stuff. There were some plants. What else? There were some plants. There were a bunch of fish, mostly because of people like Aaron who brought a bunch. He brought 4 pairs of really nice straws and a bag of 10 CPDs for $40. I mean, I was waiting because I already bought some stuff for, like, I bought the spirally type Java Fern from him. And I was like, let me not be greedy. I'll wait and see if anyone else buys the CPDs. And Steve, of course, Steve got the CPDs. But it was a fantastic deal. And there's like a lot of Anubius. A lot of people bring in Anubius. I didn't take as many pictures as I thought. Black Planet's in a couple more meetings. Maybe we can take over the main tap room. Yeah, that could be possible. That could be possible. I mean, how do you think that the meeting went, man? I'm a little behind in the Discord if you guys were talking any more about it. I just was happy. I felt like the proof of concept of, like, give people, like, just a room, food, fish to swap and talk about, and it's gonna be fun. And to me, it felt fun. It was the first time, like, there was enough people there where, like, I wasn't talking to everyone. I didn't get a chance to talk to everyone there, and people were forming, like, little pockets, but not, like, in, like, a cliquey way. Just, like, people were talking to this group of people, then going over talking, and I saw a lot of people meeting and introducing themselves, and it just seemed like a really good vibe. It seemed like a really good vibe, and people started playing. I saw Dave from Mako. He was over there playing some fish card game or something that looked too complicated for me to understand, but it seemed like they were enjoying it, so... I always like when things like, did you gain any BAP points? I did not. The BAP program is still developing. I don't think we've talked about it for this club. It's a new club. I don't think we should really focus on doing the BAP quite yet until we can withstand it. Aaron said I had a great time. I was really happy with the meeting. Yeah, that to me is what a good fish meeting is like. I mean, a lot of us keep up over internet or streams or Discords, but again, I think in person's different, and it's so much knowledge and information and camaraderie in one place in the building. And not only can you swap fish and stuff, but, like, you just have the time to just chat, not in a rush to even sell anything, like, because you're just hanging out with the stuff to swap for 2 or 3 hours. So it's not like, if you're at a swap, you can kind of talk to people or something like that. But, maybe you don't want to talk too long because you're trying to man the table, explain fish to people. But with this, you're just kind of chilling there forever, super casual. And it doesn't feel like that pressure to constantly be trying to sell whatever you brought. And they did do a post before, like, where people are asking in advance what they're interested in. So you could just only bring exactly what people, are interested in. Shrimp were in high demand. I'll say that much. So, yeah, really happy with that. So I bought a pair of Aaron's straws. I do have straws already, but you can never have enough. And I still haven't made a bunch of them either, so I'm excited, man. They look great. I mean, even in my blurry picture in the bag, you can see how orange they are. So I'd be lobbying for reciprocal BAP points in this club. Yeah. No, so that was a good meeting. So I bought those. I got some white worms from Aaron as well. And at first in the bag, you couldn't see him. I fell asleep when I got home because I was so tired. That's also partly why I'm streaming late, because I was sleeping a lot today. And I left them in the bag a little too long to where they were like, where's the air at, man? And look at that. Look at that, man. So I started a slightly bigger culture. It's not quite Branton sized yet. Pause. But there's a lot of worms. So I couldn't resist. Like, there's some stuck in the bag after I dumped it out. I washed them out. I fed. And I'm excited to have a bustling white worm culture hopefully soon. I added them with what I already had. So hopefully we'll get to it. Now, I'm putting this at the end of the stream for a reason, because I'm slightly ashamed. I've been doing good, not buying fish. I can buy fish again now, or at least I could buy like one more round of fish, but I should chill. I need a little bit more space. Breed a few more things before I do too much. But I did make an online fish order, and I talked about this when I was streaming with Aaron, but I ordered from Aquahuna again. Okay, I did. I ordered from them again because I want to test their overnight shipping. I ordered on the holidays, so it hasn't been fulfilled yet. So I'm sure they'll send it tomorrow. I'll get it Tuesday. We'll do a live unboxing. I really like Aquahuna as far as I like their persona. I like their content. I'm rooting for them. Man. The last order was brutal, but I want this order to go super well, so I can just without shame be a total shill. Cause I like their reels, bro. That's literally it. Look, I'm biased. I'm explaining why. So just take my opinions with a grain of salt when it comes to them. But you know what happened, and this is why I was partially ashamed. I made a Instagram post, and Aquahuna actually, we follow each other on Instagram, and they commented on something about isopods. And bro, I ordered from them 10 minutes after that comment. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm just like so easy. I'm so easy. I'm so easy, bro. Like, that's all it took. They just commented something funny. I was like, I've been meaning to test Aquahuna again. So I ordered some dwarf chain loaches. I ordered 8 of them because they're ones I've been wanting to try and breed, and they're kind of a little expensive fish in some places. So yeah, 8 dwarf chain loaches, and then I ordered some Pseudomactyl Gertrude because I lost my male. And did I get anything else? Oh, I ordered the blue neon res borer again because that's something we ordered before that came in DOA. So I wanted to order at least one thing I ordered before to see if things have improved or if the overnight shipping makes any difference. So we'll be keeping an eye out for that. Oh man, I don't know. It's been a fun weekend. I'm just so tired. So, any questions, comments, or concerns? I just wanted to stop in, give a weekend report. I'm trying to be more consistent. Look, if I'm not posting videos, I gotta be here doing the live streams for you guys. I know tomorrow's Monday. We're all going back to work. I didn't expect, I've already had some people tell me they listen back to the streams going to work. And again, I say I make content that's like the content I consume. That's exactly what I do with my streams and podcasts. So I already kind of feel, and this isn't your guys' fault, this is all me. I already feel a responsibility where I'm like, look, I want people to have, if for some reason they enjoy these streams, and if for some reason it helps their day, their commute, whatever, I want to make sure going into the weekday, I did something over the weekend that people can listen to on Monday morning or throughout whenever. So yeah, I just wanted to stop in, give that little report. Hopefully this week I can get some guests on, talk to some people. Let me know if there's any topics you guys are interested in at all. Maybe I'll see if Branton wants to run it again. I don't know what we'll talk about, but I think there's a lot of different options there. And if any of you ever want to hop on stream with me, man, just let me know. I eventually I want to be like doing some hangouts in the Discord when we're live if we have like a particular topic, and we can all kind of discuss it in like a channel in the Discord. So maybe keep an eye out for that. Another thing I want to do, as we're just closing out with some just little notes, I want to host a fish debate. Okay, if anyone's done debate, if you've run debates, let me know. I'd love to find some topics. Flip a coin, find two people in the community. Maybe even establish YouTuber or something. Have them take a pro or con side, and just debate a topic. And that is so like it's not necessarily they agree. It's just about debating an idea, because I think debates are fun for just kind of fleshing out topics and stuff, and it could just be funny. You know what I mean? And then I would just moderate, and maybe we'll have like a guest moderator too. It's something I want to do. If you ever ran a debate, if you have any ideas or want to help me think of people or topics, just throw ideas in the Discord. I think Putu posted the link. I can post the link again. Imprint said father versus skeptical. I actually, a while ago, I did ask skeptical before his channel was. I asked if he'd be interested in doing it. He declined. I thought that would be good. Aaron and Branton debating foods. William, that's actually a great idea. Huh. What do you think about that, Aaron? Been before debates turn to fish tube or boxing. That's kind of what I want it to be, though. But that's why randomizing who gets the pro and con side is important. But some of the things I have to figure out is like, okay, like how we'd have to do that in advance so they have time to like research the topic or come up with their points, and then like we're doing like a Robert's rules of order or whatever the hell, like which format. You don't want to drag too long, but something that makes sense for a live stream, and then yeah. So I think that just could be fun, because sometimes there's controversial topics, and it could be a good way to explore them and talk about them. And since it's a debate that's like for fun, and you don't pick if you're pro and con, you can kind of have the freedom to just argue for your perspective, and then through that, I think we'll all learn something about whatever it is. So I think that because when I did a speech and debate a long time ago, I did a little bit, and I do think defending a perspective that you don't necessarily have does help you learn about the topic and kind of expand what you think about it. All right, Black Panther said I'm always up for an argument. Okay, that could be a good one. That could be a good one for sure. Okay, we need sports betting. Oh my goodness, man. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I've been thinking about. That's the kind of stuff. William said, "Let's go, let's go. Come on, Brandon. Brandon. If you ever hear this, the glove's been thrown down. We might have to do it. I have to see what the topic is, because debating foods, we have to come up with a little bit more of a solid, specific thing for them to debate. But yeah, that would be fun. So if there's not any less question, comments, or concerned, I'm exhausted. I'm gonna go to sleep. Hope you guys all have a great start to your week, a great Monday. I love the streams. They've been so enjoyable. It's something that is fun for me to do. Like it's something I'm doing for fun. Like when I watch streams, sometimes they're like, yeah, it's like hanging out with friends, and you're kind of like, I don't know if I necessarily believe that all the way, but it's not. But no, like it really is like that. Like I get annoyed when I don't get to stream regularly, because like I miss doing it. So shout out to everyone coming through for this quick little weekend roundup. Steve, he was first in the chat, and he gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much, man. You're so generous. Aaron actually showed up for once. Appreciate you, my guy. Putu, mod in chief, coming in the chat, supporting, throwing the links. making fun of me, all the good stuff. Jody stopping by before going to sleep. See you at 3 a.m. Big Steve again. Thank you. Your name keeps coming into the chat, so I was like, I gotta say it again, holding it down. Scotty the First Freak, appreciate you stopping by, man. Thanks for helping run a nice auction. I hope you enjoy the one lid that you got, man. William, appreciate you. Thanks for the idea. In print after my twin. Hope you have a good one. You need to actually put some fish in your tank soon, man. We're waiting. A couple of fish. Look, I'm doing my best to learn about plants. Don't go too hard on me. Temperate tanks. Appreciate you stopping by. Rhubarb stew. I didn't question that enough when you said that. I hope it tastes good. I do. I hope it tastes good. And a couple of fish. Thank you for always holding it down with the emoji spam. And I'm not going to forget, of course, Ross Baltimore, who did stop through just to hate on the canister filter and let us know the song rec for the day. So with that, thank you all. I will see you soon. And, that's in my tanks. Out.